There we go. There we go. And welcome back to the 863 Sports Buzz. This is the PITA edition. We are going to be rattling off some live action news here for you guys, some recent news headlines. We're going to be we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to start it off. We got your host, Mosh and Time, and Donnie Mac. Donnie Mac, say hello to everybody.
What's up, my peeps? Thanks for coming back, seeing our PITA round, giving you up to date what's going on today, most important, most interesting, and our takes on that. I mean, like he said, it is what it is. Let's do this. It's PITA round. Let's kick it off. We're not going to waste anybody's time. We're trying to give you up-to-date information today, what's going on. Not wasting your time, not wasting ours. You can listen to this on the way home from work, on the way to work, however you want to do it, man.
Yes, sir. That's the best part. We're going to make it short. We're going to try to keep it under 30 minutes for you guys. So I'm going to start off right off the bat. Donnie Mac, your first question of the day is going to be the Nyheim Hines injury. What are they going to do? Where are you going to go with it?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back and look and see what the Buffalo Bills are going to do. Number one, they've got a couple of backs to back up Nyheim Hines. That's not the big factor with Hines. He's a big punt kick returner guy. Nyheim Hines is, and I don't want to say his first name too much because I'm going to screw it up every time I'm going to say it, but Hines, number one, he's an electric player, and the Bills showed that last season. He scored two touchdowns, two big touchdowns on kick returns and punt returns. And he hasn't had that opportunity. He is a running back on their roster, and they was going to use him as so. They still got a couple of backs they can use behind him. I don't think it's a big deal for him. I think it's a bad blow for Hines. I think that's the bottom line on the whole subject. Hines had a big opportunity this year. If the Buffalo Bills are going to do anything, this is the year they better do it and make a statement in that division. And Hines wanted to be a part of that. I can understand that. Now, he got in a freak accident. And if you don't know, he got in a freak accident. He was sitting there on a jet ski, having fun with family and friends, and somebody on a jet ski blindsided him. He was sitting still, hit him in the knee, and now he has to have ACL surgery. That's not on him. I mean, how can you tell? It's not like he was out there playing 3-on-3 basketball, Cody. He wasn't out there doing that, bro. He was out there just having fun with family, sitting on a jet ski like you and I would do if we had $1 billion like he does. And then he got smashed by another jet ski, man. And now he's got to have surgery. That's a big blow on Hines because he had a big year coming up. I think this was a year where he was going to return 4 and 5 touchdowns on kick and punt returns and maybe even more. We would have been thinking about Dante Hall when it come to Hines. Coming out of NC State, he did a lot of big things as far as punt returns and being a running back in that college. And when he did it, he didn't have the opportunity in Indianapolis. They did draft him, and against all odds, they drafted him above what he should have been drafted, and they wasted that draft pick, just like Indianapolis does. We know how they had another running back on their roster that they did not employ like they should have.
Hey,
got
I
anything?
agree with you, man.
You got anything else to add behind
that? Hey,
that?
man, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Let's be honest. So,
how much time do I have left here, Cody?
That's about honestly. I mean, I think you covered just about all of it. I mean, we probably should start a timer on these things, but let's.
Yeah,
I'm
that
all
would be
for
a good
man.
deal.
Let's do it.
But I'm done talking about Nyheim Hines, and like I said, I should stop trying to pronounce his first name. It's a bad blow for him, ultimately. That's a bad blow for him because the Buffalo Bills are going to move on this season, and they're going to have a successful season. They're going to do what they do because of the talks with Stephon Diggs and everything looks like to be, it's shoring up for him. So that's a bad blow for him personally. It really is.
Yes, sir. I agree.
So move on to the next subject, Cody. I'm going to throw it at you. You got a timer handy, man? You ready to start this?
I do. I have one ready, man. I have one ready. Go ahead. Hit me with it.
I want you, number one. You see my sign right here behind me? I want you to, number one, talk about the World Cup. Tell me a little bit about the World Cup. We're playing tonight. USA, baby.
USA, man. you know, we're coming in as probably the favorites to win the World Cup, like always. You know, the last couple of years we've seemed to struggle though. You know, we've seemed to keep getting that, you know, get a little farther on, and we seem to falter. You know, but I think this year's going to be different. I think they're going to go all the way this year. They've added a lot of new talent, which I think is huge for them.
That is huge.
They still have, you know, the old reliable, you know, Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe. They still have them.
Yeah.
But you know, they've added these stars that are really going to come in handy. Like the young girls, you know, that you've seen it when they played Vietnam. They got, you know, 3-0.
Yeah.
You know, tonight's going to be a different test,
huge.
though.
Yeah.
Tonight's going to be a different test against the Netherlands. You know, I think it's going to be exciting to watch. I think it's going to be fun to see what they're going to do. But the goalkeeping for the United States, you know, has been really good. Absolutely. But, you know, they held 79% of the possession against Vietnam, which is huge. And their passing rating was like 82%, which is crazy. You know, I mean, they're holding the ball. Dude. They're good at passing right now. Their goal scoring's opportunity, you know, it's huge. Yeah, possession's huge in soccer.
And shots
on
goal.
If you have the possession, you're going to win. And that's the way I see this. I mean, I hope the USA is going to win. I'm going to watch it, of course, as soon as it comes on. It's going to be on my TV right next to me. I'm going to watch it throughout the night. And hopefully, you know, we come up with another win. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. We go through. We have the number 1 seed in the group. So, I mean, my minute and a half is up already, though. So I'm going to stop right there. And we're going to move on. I'm going to give you your next subject. You know, we talked about soccer. We talked about football. Let's go to Ohtani, man. Shohei Ohtani. They keep saying he's going to leave. Where's he going, buddy? I'm going to start your timer right now, all right?
Start him off. So, Shohei Ohtani, does he really want to leave? I don't care. I don't know if he cares. You know what? I don't think he cares if he cares, because money is what he cares about. That's it. At this point, when you're as bad as Ohtani is, it doesn't matter where you're going to go. Okay, it really doesn't. I'm sure Mike Trout's going to be heartbroken when he goes, but I'm sure Mike Trout's going to have a smile on his face when he goes, because it's back to the limelight on Mike Trout. You know what? I really think the Los Angeles Angels has got a big relationship with the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals are in on this trade talk, or whatever's going on. It's a big deal. You know what? The Cardinals dealt Albert Pujols himself to the Los Angeles Angels. They made headlines with that deal. They dealt him to that, or you know what? I don't know if he signs free agents or they dealt him in a trade. I'm really thinking that he signed free agents with clauses from St. Louis because of a no trade clause. But don't quote me on that. It doesn't matter where Ohtani goes these days. But I think St. Louis is going to have a big play in that. St. Louis is going to stick around. They believe in bringing people up through their club. They don't believe in chasing people. But I think St. Louis is trying to get back on the map. They haven't been doing really good lately. They've been really horrible. Matter of fact, if you look at the standings right now in MLB,
wrap it up, man.
I'm sure the Cardinals feel like they've been at the bottom of the basement way too long, and they want to make a splash. So I really got big faith in Ohtani making a splash, or St. Louis making a splash and going after him. Although there's like 19 teams after Ohtani, so.
I agree.
I'll leave that at that. There's a lot to talk about him as far as it comes to Ohtani, but we'll knock him off our list at the moment. Your next subject, I want you to talk about, Cody. Your second out of 5, and we both got 5 subjects we're going to talk about. What's going on today? Right now, I want you to talk about the running back situation going on in the NFL.
Oh God, man, you're going in deep.
Listen to me. Listen to me when I say listen when I say this. You see what's going on in the NFL. Running backs are not at a premium. Okay, you can't toss one out your back window and find another one just like him right now. But you got a lot of major running backs without contracts that are free agents, have franchise tags, that do not have contracts, except for Saquon. He did just sign one. You can harp on that in a second. What's going on right now with the running backs in the NFL, Cody?
Listen, let me start my timer real fast. I forgot to. Here we go. All right, running back situation in the NFL. I have no words for it. I'm going to be honest. I sit here looking at this, and I'm like, what is going on? You have Dalvin Cook, you have Ezekiel Elliott, you have Leonard Fournette, who are all just sitting there like, hey, you guys gonna come sign us? Like,
Yeah.
And with the Naheem Hines injury, what you talked about, they have to be looking at him, right? But nothing's being done. Like, Minnesota let Dalvin Cook go for nothing to me. Like, they're kind of screwing the guy, if you want me to be honest with you.
That's embarrassing.
Dalvin Cook is an amazing running back, has 4,000-yard rushing seasons in a row, and they're not paying him. Nobody wants to pay the guy. Like, is he just going to sit out? Is he going to wait? And Saquon Barkley just signed the deal, which is kind of crazy. Austin Eckler wanted the deal, and he got his signed. But they're just letting these running backs walk because they feel like they can just pick up anybody off the street, it seems like, and put them in, and they're going to work for them, I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong. The league is kind of shifting towards a pass-heavy league, which is maybe why the running back's not as important to teams. But to me, I want that running back who's going to be able to get me 3 yards if I needed him on second down or something, to make it an easier third down on the quarterback. But nobody seems to want him, and nobody seems to want to pay for him. And maybe that's just the new kind of general managers are seeing something that I don't see. I don't get paid the big bucks, but to me, if it's me, I think Dalvin Cook's worth $8 million a year. Or Leonard Fournette. But hey, that's my time. I'm going to end it there. We'll stop it. We'll move on.
But you know what? I'll add on that, Cody. You can't name, and you pointed this out to me the other day, and it really shook my mind a little bit. You can't name the top 10 running backs in the league right now. Do that for me right now. Anybody listening to this podcast, go ahead and do that for me right now. Name the top 10 running backs in this league that are better than Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott that are out there on the free market right now.
There's none. But hey,
exactly.
We'll move on. Another thing that's been hitting the big signs all over crazy. We're going to basketball now. We're jumping to basketball. Damian Lillard requested trade. What do you think about it, man?
What I think about it really doesn't matter. It's what D. Lilly thinks about it, to be honest with you. You know what? KD, James Harden, all these guys, they started this years ago. It's not like they just started doing this. Come on, Cody. This is all-stars requesting trades out of a certain market to go to a certain market. This is not something that just started. Let's not be shocked or surprised, people. Him going to Miami, that was kind of shocking because you know what? You know what? No, it's not shocking for D. Lilly to want to go there. It's shocking for Miami because now they got to scramble and see what the hell they can do to get D. Lilly there. You know what? And it's almost impossible for them to do that and make a championship run. But I'm not saying it can't be done. Who knows? Maybe there's something going on. They can work a 4-team trade and get a couple more prospects coming in that are, under the radar. Who knows? That's not shocking to me. D. Lilly wants out. Whether or not he's going to hold out or play, that's the big question. I think he'll play. Look what KD did, and he got a big contract. KD went on, and he played. He had MVP numbers in Brooklyn before he got traded out of there, man. He wanted what he wanted, and he proved what he wanted. D. Lilly, I think, is on that same tier as KD. I think he's a little bit better than KD. That's me being biased, but he's a veteran. He knows what he wants, and I don't think he's willing to take that chance of sitting out at any point, any time. And I think that Portland does decide to trade him at any point. They're going to get the best they can at any point. It doesn't matter before or after the season starts.
I like it. I like the finish, man. Yeah, I agree. They're going to go with whatever they can get for him. Yeah. So I agree with that.
So I'm glad you agree with that. So we'll move right on. And I'm going to shift this right now to baseball. I'm going to shift this to baseball, and I want you to tell me a little bit about the MLB shift. Before the MLB started this year, they implemented some rules that you had to have an outfield or 2 men on right side of second base, 2 men on the left side of the second base on the infield. Okay, so the Colorado Rockies tried to do this. Okay,
well, I mean, they did it technically. They did it.
No, they did it. They did it. It wasn't successful. But tell me how. And I'm going to say, for lack of better words, tell me how dumb this was, and tell me what's going on right now.
The Colorado Rockies made the dumbest play I think I've ever seen in my life. They brought the right fielder. I know they brought the center fielder in, and they played him right pretty much at second base. So they still had their 2 people on the left, 2 people on the right at second base, and they moved their right fielder all the way into center field. And this is against a right-handed hitter. And we're not talking about any right-handed hitter. We're talking about the leading Luis Arraez for the Miami Marlins. This guy is batting .375, and you're just going to let this guy – you're just going to let him pull the ball really easily right into right field to win the game?
There's nobody in right field. Cody, there's nobody in right field, man.
Come on. He's hitting .375. He's got 49 RBIs already in the season. And you're just going to let right field be wide open for this guy?
No.
I was speechless when you showed that to me. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Colorado Rockies are in the bottom, obviously, for a reason. And that must be
well, yeah, they're like 15
if I was the general manager, I would call that coach and say, hey, you're done. You're done.
Listen, you don't do that against – I mean, he was hitting 400 3 weeks ago.
Not that long ago, you know? I mean, he's still hitting 375.
3 weeks
ago. It's insane.
He's still hitting 375, and he is a left-handed hitter. So you pull your right fielder in?
Just
I don't understand.
We're moving on. We're just not. I don't want to talk about that.
Hold on.
Unreal.
Hold on. Hey, one thing I want to put in there. I'm going to put this in there about that real quick because I opened that little subject with what the MLB did. I think that was a statement. It's a statement from the Colorado Rockies to the MLB that they still need to use a shift and defense. I think that's all that was.
It was just stupidity. I feel like
I think it was. Yeah, it was real stupid. Yeah, they lost the game. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're moving on. It looks like your camera kind of cut off, but it's all good. We're just going to keep on moving on. We'll let you keep talking, all right?
I'm here, buddy. I'm here.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about baseball, let's talk about the Atlanta Braves, man. How their season's going? How are they doing it? Let me know, man.
Well, the Braves' hot start is pretty simple. When you chalk this up to, you go back, they were World Series champs in 21, no? They come back last year, okay? They come back last year, and they get beat in the NLCS by the Phillies to move on to the World Series. That's why they have a hot start this year. That's not only why they have a hot start. They still have the same damn roster that they had in 21, except for they bolstered their starting pitching. If you look at that starting pitcher right now, oh my God, do you know who that guy's name is? Spencer Strider? He's got 200. Listen, last night when pitching against Boston, he had 250 innings pitched. Okay, 390 strikeouts registered.
Okay.
That's 6th in the major leagues in history. In history, Cody. That's why these guys got a hot start, and that's why they're going to drive it home. It's not only a hot start. They're going to continue this through the break, and they're going to move this on into October. It's not going to end now unless something happens to that starting pitching. Not only starting pitching, but the closing too. They got a guy on the DL right now, and he's really good as far as closing goes, and my computer shut down on me over here, and I apologize for that. But they got a guy that's coming off the 50. He's already got 10 saves, along with 18 saves with their other closer right now. But this guy right here is setting records right now in no time with the Atlanta Braves. Their hot start is because of their angry finish last year. They're angry. It's not hard.
I agree.
They're angry.
Man.
Wait till they get hot in October.
You know,
wait till these guys get
crazy too. So
with Marcell Ozuna coming in at DH right there, these guys watch when they get hot in October with Ozzy Albies. I'm telling you, he's only hitting 250 right now. Ozzy's only hitting 250 right now, Cody. Wait till this dude cranks up at second base, brother.
Listen, man, moving on. What you got? What you got for me?
Okay, we're going to cross the Braves off my list down here. We're going to bring you over. And we're gonna give you guys a little bit of off-skew sports right here. We're gonna take you a little bit on the water, a little bit of bass fishing competition down here in the heart of Okeechobee on Okeechobee Lake. On May 6th this year, in the first qualifier for the Roland Martin Marine Series, we had, and the significance behind what happened in this weigh-in, and Cody's going to fill you in on what happened in this weigh-in, and Roland Martin himself, Scott Martin himself, and a lot of big names down here in South Florida were in this weigh-in. Now, leading up to this weigh-in, it was so hard to catch a 20-pound bag on this lake for the first month before this weigh-in. Now, this is late in May, which is not a normal spawning period for bass here in Okeechobee, but it's not abnormal. It hasn't happened in a long time, but
it happened.
A historical weigh-in happened down here in Okeechobee, and Cody's going to fill you in on what happened.
Listen, they came in and they started weighing in these fish, right? And I was watching it live, so it was kind of cool watching this thing live. They were bringing in fish that were 7, 8 pounders, like nothing. The winning bag for this tournament was over 36 pounds. They had 20 bags over 30 pounds. They keep saying Lake Okeechobee is done. It's over. It's finished. Well, they just proved that Lake Okeechobee is as strong as ever. We are the bass capital of the world for a reason. You people have to see this. Lake Okeechobee is known for its big fish. And don't get me wrong, I love fishing Lake Okeechobee. But when you get these people that come in and they're averaging like 7 pounds of fish, it's insane. I mean, you got to look at this. 36.82 is the top weight on this tournament. That's over 7.25 pounds of fish. That's, I mean, his big fish was 8.37. That wasn't even the big fish of the day. Like, I wish I would have been there. I wish I would have seen it. And I wish I could have fished it because, I mean, I love fishing. We all know that, Scott Martin finished with like 29 pounds, and he didn't even come in the top 20.
Yeah, Scott
not even the top 20.
They were 29th, I believe. They finished.
They had 66 bags over 20 pounds, though. 20 bags over 30. I mean, Lake Okeechobee is strong. And this is just a one-day tournament, guys. This isn't like it's a 2-day tournament. This was a one-day thing, and they came in and they
one day.
Lake Okeechobee, and Lake Okeechobee is still as strong as ever. It's a little harder sometimes. You got to figure out where they're at, but once you figure it out, Lake Okeechobee is as strong as ever, and still have the monster fish that you are coming to look for. Come on down and fish it, man. It's a little challenging at first, but once you figure out how to flip and you find them. You have a ball. Like there's nothing like Lake Okeechobee.
Reach out to us on Discord. We'll give you some pointers too, man.
Yeah. Hey, that's it. We're moving on. That's my minute and a half of Lake Okeechobee bass fishing. I love it. We'll definitely don't worry, guys. We'll keep bringing it in. We'll even bring in our own episodes when we go fishing. Maybe we'll talk about that too every once in a while.
Absolutely.
So, all right, your final topic of the day. All right, this is a huge one. It's all been talked about. Aaron Rodgers' outlook with the Jets. What do you think the Jets are going to do this year, man, with him?
Well, that's it. You know what? That's an easy final topic. And, I saw the USA Today. We've already got our preseason predictions out on our poll right now. So go check us out on Spotify. 863 Sportz Buzz podcast. Check it out.
Yes, sir.
We got our preseason predictions on there, but USA Today Sports came out with their preseason predictions.
Oh, yeah, they did.
And that's the significance of me telling you this on the Aaron Rodgers subject, because they had the Jets going to the Super Bowl, being beaten by the Eagles. And, I don't know if I believe in that, because I don't even have the Jets making the playoffs. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't fallen short, so I can't say that.
I haven't fallen short. I hope Aaron Rodgers does a lot better than that. I have good vibes from this camp. I'm hearing a lot of good things. What I don't hear good is, why did Mims want out of New York? I don't understand that. Why did he want out in New York? Why did Detroit go and get Mims? He's a very fast receiver. He was electric on a few plays. We watched him on ESPN. I don't know why he wanted out at New York, and he's got some shady responses against Aaron Rodgers over there. I don't care to hear them because they're just shady. He's feeling bad because he really wanted to play there. There's a reason why he's got on headlines, because he wanted to play there. He's being salty. He wanted to be there with Aaron. He saw what was going on. He see that Aaron Rodgers is running the show. So it's up to Aaron Rodgers this year. I believe if that defense plays behind Aaron Rodgers, he's got a shot, and he could solve a lot of problems for New York. And then again, if he stays healthy, he could run it deep into the playoffs. I don't know. This is Aaron Rodgers we're talking about. This is the number one guy when it comes to passer rating in the NFL. We did this last week on our podcast. Go check that out on our playoff brackets for our quarterbacks. But he won almost every category. He stacked up against legends in that playoff category.
Yeah, I mean, and he won it. I mean, he definitely won it. I mean, this
is a guy.
A couple weeks though, you kind of sold that out a little bit, man. You gotta, but it's all right. It's all right. We know who won now. It's okay.
Hey,
we're moving on. Moving on,
but he's got the stats above any other quarterback, TD to interception ratio. It doesn't matter.
You'll all see that though. Go check out the podcast in a couple. It'll be. I think it's 2 weeks though. So give it a couple weeks. It'll be out, man. Because I don't. It's a recorded one.
I almost spoiled that there.
It's all good though. All right, what we got for the last one, man? What we got?
Last one I got for you, Cody, and it's a big one for me, man.
Okay.
This is a real big one because it goes into our preseason predictions. Again, go check out our first podcast. Go check that out. Check out Cody's wacky ass picks that he's got going to the Super Bowl and the playoffs. This involves that. Man. This involves that, and I dropped this many times during that podcast. The San Francisco 49ers have now cleared Brock Purdy and his elbow to go. He's full 100% ready to go. He's in training camp. He's ready to rock this deal, Cody. What do you got to say about that? Can you tell me?
Brock Purdy, I like him. I really do. I mean, he's not a top 5 quarterback, but he's all San Francisco needs to win. San Francisco's defense is just built different. If you put a decent quarterback in there with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle, that's all you need. You don't need a great quarterback. You need a quarterback that can manage the game and win you games and make that throw when you need to. He can do that. Yeah. He proved it. I mean, he showed it. When the Miami Dolphins were playing him last year and we heard, Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, we thought, this is going to be an easy game. Brock Purdy came in and absolutely demolished us.
We started dicing
here and I'm like, who is this guy?
Going on?
Who is this guy? And he's making throws that 5-6 year quarterbacks can't make still nowadays.
Absolutely,
and accurately. I mean, he just demolished us, and I totally respect him, and I think he's going to make a great year. I really wish he wouldn't have got hurt in the championship game.
That would have been a different playoff.
I think it would have been a different game. I really do. So. I think it would have been a really close game because
I really do.
What is San Francisco going to do? They brought in Christian McCaffrey to throw the ball a couple times. Because I mean, the 4th string quarterback got hurt immediately.
Bring your next best guy. I think
it's going to be a great year, and I have him going. I have him going pretty deep. Go out and check again. Go out and check our preseason picks. It's out. Go listen to it and see what we got going, man. I mean, that's all I got to say to that, though. I'm going to keep that simple. Go into Spotify, listen to our thing, come into our Discord. You can, argue with us here. I'm going to drop it on. I know we're going to have some fun with it. We always do. Donnie Mac, you got any headlines you want to talk about, man?
As far as headlines go, it's really not a whole lot of headlines, man. What I'm thinking about at the top of my head is really the running back fiasco going on in the NFL. It's really mind-boggling.
It's crazy.
I really can't wrap my mind around it, Martian time. I really can't. I've been reading a lot. I've seen a lot of veteran running backs calling out these guys for holding out.
100%. I mean, they had a Zoom call and everything, man.
Hey, Josh Jacobs held out of
and I think he's going to.
He held out.
He's going to.
He didn't go in.
Hey, I want you guys to know this. A couple of weeks ago, me and Donnie Mac were talking about this, and he's like, I don't think any running back's worth $10 million. And he said that straight to me. I'm like, are you serious? Hey, look at these guys, man. And now that I finally started showing him this, he's starting to come around now, guys.
I am. We all need that little coming to Jesus moment sometimes. But hey, I really didn't wrap my mind around it. Like I said that early on in the podcast. When we talked about that, when I launched your subject on that, when we talked about you going into that running backs, when I said we talked about this, I can't really name top 10 running backs that stand out in my mind that are worth $10 million. I really can't. That puts a premium on
those really good running backs.
Those top 7 that you can think about, those top 8 that you can think about, they deserve that money. And I can't really blame Josh Jacobs. I can on the fact that his off-field issues. The dude needs to get his stuff together.
I agree with that 100%. But
that's the only.
We're not going to get into that stuff though. We're not politics. We're not talking anything like that.
But if you want money, you got to do the walk and you got to do the show too, man. I mean, all of it comes together, and that's my Austin Eckler. I believe. I mean, Saquon Barkley. I understand, man. You guys holding out and not getting money, and when these free agent running backs get signed, Delvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott and Leonard Fournette, if he does get signed, and I think he will. Somebody will get hurt and for a back that knows what he's doing. I mean, they'll all get signed, but it's not going to be at a premium price. And I don't understand why, because these guys are very important to the game. Not only to the game, Cody, they are very important to the passing game. The play action is still a big deal in the NFL today, and it's still a passing league, but you don't pass without threatening to run the football and making them stack the box a little more than needed. I don't care who you are. That's the way the game works. And these games and these teams that have running backs and they're pounding that football and they're showing that they can run the football, those are the successful teams.
I agree, man. I mean, if you got an offensive line, you can put and you have a successful running back that is going to go get you 3 or 4 yards. That's an extreme bonus to have, man. You can't have your quarterback drop back and throw the ball every time. That's the worst thing ever. And you don't want your quarterback to be in that position, because then guess what? They're going to drop 8, they're going to bring 5, and you're going to be dead almost every time.
Every time.
You can't do that. And you need that running back that gets you 3 yards on first down.
Exactly.
That 3rd and medium is a whole lot different than 3rd and long on 3rd and 10 if you didn't get a good pass.
Not only that,
it's huge. You got to pay the guys.
You need that running back like Derrick Henry that stands up and just runs them down. Hey, look, you put Aaron Rodgers behind Derrick Henry. What do you have? I don't care. What do you have, man? You got a very dangerous scenario, because that's a 50-50 offense. That's what I call a 50-50 offense. They're either going to run the football or they're going to pass the football. You don't know what they're going to do.
Exactly.
You can't.
Exactly.
You can't. That's how important a running back is these days in the NFL.
I agree.
So I agree with these guys holding out what they're doing. I really don't understand it, and the NFL really needs to shape up. The players' union needs to get on top of their game and do whatever they need to do. I mean, it is what it is.
I agree with all of it, and this is, I'm gonna jump into basketball really fast, like the Damian Lillard thing to Miami. I brought that in with you and asked you to it. I mean, Damian Lillard coming to Miami would be a great thing for Miami Heat. I like the way they're kind of, he's kind of saying, that's the only team I'm going to play for. I don't believe that, but I kind of understand his feeling though too, that he wants to be on a winning team. He wants a team to compete. And what they've been doing to him up there, they haven't been helping him. I mean, the guy's was averaging like 30 points a game, and they weren't even over 500.
And let me throw this on top of that. Let me throw this on top of that. I've got some notes here. Listen, not only is D. Lilly doing this to Portland, but back in '78, MVP Bill Walton did this to Portland also. I'm going to drop this. This is very disrespectful to D. Lilly, and this is why. And I should have said this in my minute and a half, but I got brain scrabbled. But
minutes half's hard, man. But
they asked them to go get a veteran this year and trade that draft pick they had, and they did not do it. I think we all know that. And they went and drafted this kid. And this kid, what's his name? Henderson, I believe. Scoot Henderson is what his name is. Yeah. he comes straight out of high school. I can understand why they're impressed by him. He comes straight out of high school into the G. Goes straight into the G League, but he is player to ever go into and play in the NBA and the G League, the youngest ever.
Yeah.
And he's coming straight out of high school. He was All-American 3 times, I believe, whatever 2-3 years he was in there. But that was very disrespectful to Damian Lillard, and maybe that's why he went with that disrespectful approach. Hey, trade me to Miami because that's really where I want to go.
I completely understand what he's doing. So, hey man, but we're gonna end it there. I mean, I'm good with what we talked about. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about, I'm good with ending it.
I think
it's gonna be a short one for you guys. So hopefully you guys all enjoy it. And hey, sign us off, buddy. I'm gonna let you do it.
I think we brought everybody up to date with what's going on really down here, up there, over there, out here.
Around there,
everything
around the corner.
Everything going on in sports. Catch us next week at the same time. We'll drop it. Another 30-minute session. Tell you what's going on in the top sports of today. And if you don't like what we're talking about, or if you want to hear something else we're talking, like Cody said, drop it in our Discord. Until then, we're going to sign you off at 863 Sportz Buzz podcast. Thanks for joining us on PITA Round Sports Talk Radio.